Alright, let us continue this, boys. Soon enough, I'm just standing outside the door to my next class. Much like the school wall outside, it's decorated in various colors and patterns. Each corner painted and tagged by different students. I barely step foot inside before the bell rings. Since I was the last one in, all but one of the other seats were taken. It's pretty much close to the front. While many of the students look well prepared, some are clearly ready to fall asleep within the next few minutes. Then there's the teacher. He's standing up by the board, waiting for me to finish looking around and take a seat. Since he isn't urging me to look for a seat, he must be used to new students taking it all in. That must be the art teacher. Somehow he looks young and old at the same time. Well, don't want to hold up class for too long. Trying not to take the teacher's hospitality for granted, I take the seat closest to me in the front row. Even with me sitting down, the art teacher still continues to idle, instead of staring at the seated students with a hazy stare. Nobody seems to be paying attention to him, save for a few people here and there. A few students are whispering something behind me. Where was he yesterday? Hey, I'm not complaining about the less work. Yeah, but on the first day? So in a way it's the teacher's first day as well. So I didn't miss anything in this class. That's pretty cool, actually. Wow! The teacher slams the desk in front of... Oh, wait, damn. The teacher slams the front of his desk with both fists, the sound echoing through the room. Okay, that's an introduction. Don't think I need that. Don't think anyone needs that, especially in America. Also, that flag does look American. It's the signal for all auxiliary conversation to cease, and the class obeys. Despite the sudden furniture abuse, the teacher doesn't look agitated. Rather, he's got a massive grin on his face. I am loving this track. For some reason, it's just reminding me of Phoenix Wright. Maybe a bit of Danganronpa V3, but more Phoenix Wright to me. The phrase "winning smile" comes to mind. I could possibly think of Professor Layton, but I haven't really played his games. I mean, I've seen gameplay, but I don't remember the soundtracks sounding similar to this. Jazzy, or whatever this is supposed to be called. Right then. The pale pterodactyl holder looks to be a metallic tray on a stick. Pretty sure that's a feather. Good morning, class. Thank you, Raptor Jesus, for forcing me to wear prescription shades. My classmates are all wincing in pain and wiping their eyes. And welcome to AP Art Design. He holds up the stick haphazardly. This is a flash pan. Saw it at an antique store yesterday, thought it'd be a good introduction. It's not important. Worthless, actually. What a find. Oh, nice. The class winces as the stick is chucked into the garbage bin and shattered. Excuse my absence yesterday. I had managed to take care of elsewhere. My name is Mr. Itakan. Okay, that's his name. No more Mr. Lada. It's Mr. Itakan. Within the blink of an eye, the teacher has replaced the son of a stick with a fancy marker and managed to scrawl his name across the board in the finest show of calligraphy. And I shall be your guide as we explore the expanse of the creative world. Let's not dilly-dally, shall we? Our teacher, he's very animated. This first week, we'll be going in depth on the history of the fundamentals of art. Perhaps it'll trial by fire as well, to get your creative juices flowing. There are murmurs from my classmates, though I pay no mind to them. In fact, the prospect of doing some creative work, to create something that I could possibly show off. For a brief moment, I picture my own name on a placard in the hallway outside the principal's office. For now, though, I'd like you to open your book to page 3. Right, my book. Wait, what book? Wait. Damn. Everyone has that feeling, don't they? New school, new classes, but no new material. Or maybe we're just poor, like usual. Uh, Looking around to see that everyone else has a novel-sized hardbook, opened. Oh, they must have gotten them yesterday. Wait, hold up, did something happen to my OBS? No, okay. Now I think class will be starting with... Hesitantly, I raise my hand. Mr. Idekins, sir? I, don't have my book yet. Don't have a book yet. You don't have how? The substitute passed all of them out yesterday. There you go. There you go. Now you know. Now you know the lore. My dumb lore. His eyes flicker open a second as he connects some internal dots. The word on the streets that some new kid got concussed so hard he had to leave early. Did the street at least mention I was doing well before that? Oh, of course not. All that matters is the moment that happened, not before or after. You're Mr. Nito, then? Yes, sir. Given the circumstance, I'll let it slide. For now, why don't you share with one of your classmates? After class, I'll write you a note that you can give to the librarian. Thank you, sir. I kind of regret being so late, because the only person I can realistically share with is the person to my side. So, hey. Hey, it's our girl. Wait a minute. Wasn't she the one speaking through the hallway yesterday? Just like back then, I feel her gaze, piercing and cold, as if she's not even seeing me next to her. Would it be okay to share the book? It'll only be for today. Instead of verbal response, she lets out a defeated low groan, like I just spit on her cereal. Ah, the great wonders of being alone. Then she huddles back over her page. Well, geez, I already asked. It's only the first real day. Maybe I won't need it. Olivia, come on, show it to him this one time. I already told him I personally resolved the issue. Just help me out here, alright? Real. Absolutely real. She responds by making a show of sighing deeply, while rolling her head back and around. Ordinarily, there'd be a groan to go with the gesture, but she remains silent. Her head hangs low in defeat, and she nudges the book a few centimeters closer to me. Thanks. I slide my own desk closer to her, just enough that I can read the page. While our teacher orates the page as if reading from Death of a Hunter, what is Death of a Hunter? I want to know now. There's Death of a Salesman, Death of a Cheerleader, Death of a Bachelor. What is this? What? All I can see is a show. Oh wait, no, the show's canon. The episode name is Death of a Hunter. What is this? I follow along while simultaneously trying to capture anything that stands out into my notebook. A lot more difficult than expected, as Mr. Ideken seems to put emphasis on every word he spoke. I feel like I was just copying the page wholesale. Might as well just wait for the book, my guy. My eyes turn from the book to the girl's notes, and... it's scratchy. Those are some very murderous-looking claws on her fingertips. For a split second, I can see them retract. She wipes her fingertips on a small hand towel and... oh, the claws extend again into a bright red puddle on her desk. A Singular red colored claws pressed on her paper for the moment, then quickly tugged and twirled and twisted, leaving behind a bright red cursive sentence on the page? Writing cursive? Hell yeah, that's cool. That's epic. Those silver irises flick my way once more. Huh? What are you doing? That looks pretty cool. A hint of red creeps across the girl's cheeks. She looks back at the book and hunches her shoulders as high as she humanly, dinally, can. Huh? She's now leaning over her notes too, even using the book as extra protection for the pages. I should be focusing on my own notes. Yeah. An impossible task now, though, as the colorful calligraphy next to me has piqued my curiosity. The cool talent continues to delicately etch notes onto the page, and only leaves the page to dip into what looks like a tiny paint palette at the edge of her desk. The claws extend again, and now there's a faint rumbling. Oh, she... Ah, yeah, that look. She notices. Hey. I hadn't meant to get caught up in it. Sorry, I wait for her to give me a name. She doesn't. He simply returns her focus to the book between us. I wonder what her deal is. In either case, I turn my attention back to class. Hope I can make up for lost time. It's hard to ignore that Gator girl, though. Especially when those icy gray eyes of hers feel like icicles poised to stab through me. Hey, wait a second. Those hand motions. She's not writing anything right now. She's drawing. Well, it's none of my business. But I am rather curious. Oh yes. Take a quick peek. And make a show of leaning back to yawn. Now I can see. It's... Ooh! Oh, it's a calligraph doodle of me. There's no mistaking it. That's my jacket and sunglasses. Hell yeah. For some reason it's reminding me of Spec Ops: The Line. And it's not even red. It's mainly orange, if I'm correct. Yeah, I don't even know if the main character has shades. For some reason, it's just reminding me of that. That's pretty cool. Damn right. Nobody's ever really drawn me before. Well, there were those others on the first day of school, but that's different. They weren't using their own claws or ink. Man, I can't wait. I'm gonna ask for a closer look. Hey. Your picture's super cool. Can I see it? She glares me in the eyes, but slowly brings out the sheaf she was doodling on. Wait, sheaf? You mean sheet? No, I could be wrong. With the paper more visible, I can just barely make out all the important details. The line work is sharp, each stroke an organic curve that when combined formed what had to be me. It even had my glasses, and a negative space of the head. Negative space? I haven't heard that definition in a long time. Or that word, I mean. Fuck. Term, whatever. But though, what was with the multiple swervy lines coming out of my drawing's head? Dude, this is great. She rolls her eyes and starts retracting the page. Can I take a picture of it? A pause. Why? Nobody's ever done something like that for me. I want to remember it. She passes the paper over to me. It's yours. No, really? Thanks. Don't mention it. But, don't. She's nice. After a grueling period made worse by my own anxiety, bell rings to set us free. Jesus, that's loud. Finally, freedom at last. Just stay for a minute longer and go. Hold on, I gotta see, man. Options. That might be better. I hope. Right. I get some sideways glances from other students as they leave, no doubt suspecting I'm a teacher's pet already. With free strokes from his pen, Anakin hands me a note. Just show this to the librarian and she'll hand you your books. On your way now. A quick trip to the library earns me my missing books. Godspeed. And I even got a fancy laminated library card? Yo. Hell yeah. I wonder what the fee is for a late book though. I feel like it might be a bit too much. Anakin's introduction to his class certainly has me excited for photography next. First stop though, lunch. Ooh, lunch period. So we have PE and then art, AP art, and now lunch. Yeah, I feel like that's a little too fast. But that doesn't matter. Can't take pictures on an empty stomach. Between my lackluster breakfast and gym class, I'm starving. At least your breakfast is in a nice kitchen. Despite my hunger, though, I'm stopped dead in my tracks as I look around the cafeteria for a place to sit. Hello? Oh. Wow. The whole place is overtaken by lawless anarchy. Is someone getting thrown or someone just jumping? I've never seen a riot this intense. A few students have even crawled halfway up the wall, hanging by the decorative vines? That's some liquor behavior, my guy. Food flies about everywhere, utilized as ammunition rather than substance. Yet the security guard by the door is moving. This must be acceptable. More than likely. I shudder to think what would be bad enough to warrant him taking action. I've never seen anything like this at any of my old schools. But more importantly, all the cliques have already formed from the previous day. I missed my chance to sit with anyone. Listen, you don't have just one day to make a clique. Might be harder, but you can get in one. Wait, it's only the second day. Why am I acting as it's too late for everything? That's just your mentality, my guy. For some reason. Yo, Nico! Nico! Oh my god! That's the GTA 4 name. Oh. It froze. Hello? No! Oh my god, why did it freeze? That's how shit my computer is, okay? That's just how it is. My computer tradition. I'm shoulder checked from behind by what feels like an oversized fist or undersized boulder. If I wasn't already by a wall, I would have been either sent sprawling or made into roadkill. When I turned about, I met with Damien's toothy grin. Oh, what? Wow, you already forgot about me? You don't got anywhere to be, right? Yeah. You stuttered, come on, we're going somewhere. May as well, right? Damien excitedly motions at me to fall through the traffic of students going about the lunchroom. Peering in through the crowd, waving me over, disappearing again like he's outrunning something. Oh my lord, Jesus, it's getting louder. Actually, I don't think that really helps, does it? There you go. There you go. I never scrolled. Okay, that might be good. There you go. Ah, it's a good thing I haven't gotten my own lunch yet. It'd be dumped on the ground about 3 elbows and a slap ago. Maybe even earlier. Maybe even as soon as you leave the fucking line. Though the clamoring, I hear something about a turf war restarting with the new year, and that Megalons will continue to rule. Somewhere mixed in is the undeniable sound of a steel chair clattering to the ground. The place is an actual war zone now. How on earth is Damon able to weave through these guys so easily? Eventually, he leads me to the far corner of the room, to his usual lunch table. This kind of reminds me of... Oh my god, I know this is another retarded comparison, but this is unironically reminding me of one of those Corpus. Corpus? I think it's Corpus rooms in Warframe. Even though that room is more lab-like. Uh, or am I thinking of that Days Gone? Is it Days Gone? The motorcycle one. Yes, it was the motorcycle one. There might be a room like this, I don't remember. But it just reminds me of that. Eventually, he leads me to the far corner of the room, and to his usual lunch table. Hey, you're alive. I think one of my ribs is cracked. Oh, James May. That's just the school spirit you're feeling. Ugh. I feel less like a person, more like a well-used punching bag. I finished stretching my wounded back and actually checked the table. It's basically empty. Yeah, like what a table should be. There's only one other person here. Hey! Once again, Gator Girl gives an unamused, raised brow. Is there an actual table there? No, it's not. Hey, you... Oh, snap, you know Olivia? Olivia, yes, right. Yeah, the one and only. Why didn't you tell me you've met already? Because I only sort of did. We're in the same class. Ah, okay, I get it now. So that sounds awesome. All my lunch buddies are artists. I thought he said baddies for a second. All? Oh yeah, there's usually Sarah in our group, but she's out screwing around in school business. She'll probably be back tomorrow. School council stuff can't take that long, right? What's she need with the school council? Student council. Oh, she doesn't need anything with the school council. She's in it. She's a treasurer. A treasurer? It sounded like that. What do you think, Olivia? Olivia just grunts in reply. Doesn't even bother to look up from her lunch tray. Aren't you an artist too, Damien? Nah, I don't got the patience to sit around for hours like that. So you're not taking advantage of the art programs here. Don't really need them. Home's just real close by. The only other artist here today is Olivia. His arms waver Olivia as if he was presenting her at an auction or something. For her part, the Gator Girl just grunts again. Booga booga. Well, what do you do then, Olivia? Finally she looks up, turning an indifferent look my way. Did she? What? Did she say something? What was that? Funny, I can't hear. The ambient war noises are a bit too loud. Can't hear a thing. Sorry, I can't hear anything you're saying over the... Don't sweat it, she's just a real quiet type. I paint. Ooh, what a face. Whoa, hey. Holy hell. Her voice sounds so raspy. As if she never drunk a drop of water in her life. I guess I hadn't noticed before when she gave those one-syllable responses, but for someone's voice to be strained from a single shout? She furrows her brow and looks back down at her lunch. Oh snap, we've been standing around for a while. He sits back in his own seat and takes a huge bite of mystery meat steak. A whole cut of unknown meat. Who doesn't love that? Right. Food. Thank you, Jeremy Clarkson. Very cool. After the workout and poor breakfast today, I'm particularly famished. What do you mean workout? Just getting through the crowd? But the line. All eyes look to where the lunch line should be. And it's become a full-blown riot. Yes. This is basically Millwall then. Someone's got a fire extinguisher trying to stop it. Why don't you okay, you know what? No. It's a school, but I'm not gonna say it. Oh, I probably should have waited for you to get yours. Oops. Damn. Damien returns to his steak, rather aggressively. But who am I to question dino etiquette and the act of using one's foot to anchor the food for tearing? For some reason I feel like an Indian would be proud of that. Finally, the sound of squeaking tire draws both of our attentions towards Olivia. She's holding onto one of her wheels, having just skidded across the granite floor. Oh, what's up? She tilts her head back towards a courtyard door behind us. Looks like there's a few vending machines out there. Yeah, I can still check them out. I'll leave the group behind to go try out and get lunch. Not a fan of soda or chips for a meal, but it's enough for wartime survival. If only the boys in the trenches taste that. How long would they live? Hey, this thing accepts credit cards. Handy. Doesn't accept tap though. I'm feeling like... Ooh, more choices. Drywall. Baked chips. Ooh. Could go for a monster. Especially a... What's that? The Java Bean monster? I fucking love that one. Store brand. I don't know if they're talking about like great value soda or like Sprite you just get at Walmart. But if it's not McDonald's Sprite, I'm not taking it. Baked chips can be good. I don't know. I just feel like I need a big ass bag of chips in general. Either that or I just don't bother. I'll go with the Java Bean, okay. I pick out a few brands I recognize, enough to tie me over for the rest of the day. School day. I bent to pick up the bags from the dispenser slot and... that green chick's looking at me. She noticed me gazing at her and hunches over again hurriedly. What's that all about? Right, making new friends. Buy a few extra sodas for the table. Carrying something back in both arms, I placed them on an empty slot, sliding a can of soda to Damien. He looks at me like I had just tossed him a gold bar. Whoa, dude. That fucking soy face. Almost pronounced it wrong. Why Dillo? Why Dillo? I must ask. The Dillo boy's mouth opened wide as he chomps at the bottom of the can. On the bottom of the can? His fans piercing the thin metal and spraying its contents down to his gillet. That's metal. That's epic. I tossed some over to Olivia as well. She eyes it as though it were booby trap before taking the bad chips. Damon sighs happily as he chucks the shredded remains of his can away. Caffeine ambrosia. What were you talking about before? Olivia's art. Right. She's really good, Inky. Like you wouldn't believe. Can you at least stick to a nickname? Really? Oh, totally. She's like won awards and stuff. She has. Can I see them? In fact, I could get her some glamour shots for you. No need, dude. I already got photos on my phone. No, I mean, hold on. I picked my backpack up from the floor, unzipping it, and retrieved my beloved camera from it. I'm actually into photography, you see. I want to be in National Geographic. Fuck, that's dead, isn't it? Or is it? Wait. I don't know if the magazine's gone or if it's the show that's gone. Channel, I mean. I see it on Disney Plus, so I'm sure it's alive. I hope. The Dino Man reaches for the well-aged DSLR. In an instinct, I swat his hand away. What a peasant. Hey! Sorry, force of habit. What do you think, Olivia? She eyes me up and down, with the same furrowed brow. Aren't you... aren't you the guy that ate dirt in the gym yesterday? Ooh. Oh, I thought I could choose. Yep, no. I shoot Damien a quick, dirty glance before returning to look at Olivia. It wasn't that bad, actually. It was pretty bad. It wasn't, and how does everyone seem to know about it? Damien looks aside sheepishly. I may have had a hand in spreading the story around. I thought it was funny! It was funny! Look at the poor man on the ground. Laugh at his face. Don't mind the bump on his head. Or severed torso. Don't worry though, everyone has some embarrassing story. One time I got my frill stuck in the bathroom stall. I didn't need to know that. Put it in your tax returns, boy. It took him an hour to get it out. See? Everybody's got something. Olivia pops a chip into her jaws, her face looking out to nowhere as if she's thinking of something. Damien leans close to me. One of his frills extends to hide from Olivia. Dude, I haven't seen her talk this much during lunch since last year. She said 3 things and one of them was a grunt. Why the secrecy? It's like a secret meeting. Those are cool. Uh-huh. But yeah, this is something else. He's really warming up to you, I can tell. Sits back down properly. Honestly, this whole thing is a little creepy. She's probably not a bad person to talk to, but Damien isn't helping any. As eager as I am to make new friends this year, this is definitely not how I thought it would pan out. Maybe it's best that I get through lunch quickly and quietly. At least I have a spot to sit during lunch. Not like I have any other options. Ah, there you are, Inko. Ben. Ah, Ben. Ben talks, my boy. A voice rings out to greet me, which catches our attention. I see a familiar bespectacled face walk over to us with a lunch tray in his hands. Glad to see that you made it to lunch this time. Oh hey, Ben. I'm guessing you and Inky here already met. Introduced myself after I bumped into him the other day. Speaking of bumps, you should have seen Inky here yesterday. Damien lets out a crackle and slaps me in the back, igniting the gym pains in my body and almost knocking my glasses off. No, not the sacred glasses. Hopefully you have a spare. Another spare, I should say. Also, does the glasses look a little different from the first one? I don't know. Ben gives a concerned half smile. This must be my internal torment for the rest of the semester. Yeah, about yesterday. Ben looks down the aisle of chatting students and signals to someone with his head. Standing 10 feet away from us is an imposing-looking dinosaur girl with blonde hair, crimson scales, and sporting a fiery red leather jacket? could this be? Ben motions for her to come closer with a soft smile on his face and a nod. And she smiles back, though her own is noticeably strained. Okay, I'm here. Her name is Mia. I wonder what her last name is. She slowly makes her way over, and I notice how some of the students begin to quiet down as she passes by them. Hell yeah. Yeah, I can appreciate that. As she gets closer, her intense presence invades me, and even though we're about the same height, I feel like an ant about to get crushed into her boot. Somewhere in me, a synapse connects her face to me tasting bright red rubber yesterday. I really wish it hadn't. And go, Mia here has something to say to you. Mia stays silent, but strides the last couple steps rigidly to stand in front of me. She sucks in air through her teeth. Sorry. The corner of the girl's lips start to rise. I didn't mean to knock your lights out. I notice her. Behind her, I notice Ben wincing. Ooh, the girl lets out a laugh and lays an arm around my shoulder, her smile growing white once more. Heat creeps along my face as her muzzle nears my ear, especially when a puff of hot air blows my lobe. The heat is torn away, though when I feel her fingers dig roughly into my shoulder, and her sharp hiss of a whisper scrapes my eardrum. That ball was me being nice, Baldy. Screw the class over again. The fucking end you. Nodding and understanding, Mia pushes away from me with a small cheer. See, all clear now, Benny boy. Ah, Mia, that's not quite... Ah, boo, you know how I am. Her eyes flood as she looks his way. Yes, I know, but... You promised you would be... nicer, I know. And I was. So I'll be seeing you later tonight, Benny. Oh, just like we promised? Yeah. Okay. Interesting. She waves us off collectively and backs into the crowd, vanishing before either one of us could fully process her words and actions. Damon nudges my side. Dude, I think she likes you. Okay. Yeah, I bet. Ben sighs. Sorry about that, Inko. I heard earlier about what happened at PE and connected the dots. Mia comes off as rough around the edges, but she's actually really sweet. I'll, talk to her about it more later. You and her, huh? Huh, yeah, since the start of high school. A classic jock and nerd pairing. Sounds like you're living the dream. You know it. But yeah, I'm sorry your first impression of her isn't ideal. That's fine, it was just dodgeball. Not like she was looking to do something. Yeah. Damon? Oh? Damon looks up from the rest of his meal, having selectively heard his name. Could you not spread rumors about your fellow classmates? No worries. Nico and I are cool. That still doesn't make it right. Sure. Yes, sir, yeah. Fuck off. Godspeed. As Ben gives a lazy salute. The U.S. is proud. Ben merely sighs as he places his tray on the table and makes himself comfortable on the seat next to me. I'm about to run out of water. As he settles in, Ben notices my camera, still out on the table. What? Oh, you fucker. Oh, is this your camera, Inko? Huh? Oh yeah, I was showing it to Damien and Olivia earlier. May I? Feel my instincts kink in for a moment before remembering that Ben also works with the camera. Sure, have a look. I watch as Ben gingerly picks up my camera and gives it a thorough inspection. I must say, as far as standard DSLRs go, yours is of very good quality. There's nothing too special, really. Just something I picked up a while back. Well, you have good taste in camera models. He hands me back my camera, to which I place it back into my backpack. Thanks. With something like that, it'd be easy to get some great shots. Well, I do have a small collection in a portfolio drive. A portfolio? Ah, man, I only just got mine a month ago. Bet you've got a dozen pieces to choose from for the New Year's art contest. The what? You missed that announcement. What announcement? School has an annual art contest at the start of every new year. Winner gets a small cash prize, but the bigger prize is the fact that the winner's piece is submitted for publication and Olivia fucks off in a couple big-time magazines. Oh. Oh, wow! That sounds awesome. Of course, that also means a lot of students plan ahead and work all summer for something to submit. Do you do anything for it, Ben? You know it. Well, good luck. Liz said she turned in the perfect piece yesterday. Okay, now I'm interested. Finally, a chance to show a real skill at something I'm good at. Hey, Olivia could help you out. With your shots and her art, you two could totally win. Right, Olivia? Olivia? We all turn our heads to Olivia, only to realize she's disappeared. When did she leave? Confused, I scan around the cafeteria, and my eyes manage to spot her through the crowd of students. She's running away towards the cafeteria doors quickly. Just like that, I lose sight of her as fast as I had seen her. I turn to look at Damien and Ben. Damien not only looks puzzled, but also disappointed for some reason. Ben, meanwhile... well, he almost looks annoyed that Olivia left. Guess she hasn't changed. So it seems. Why are you angry, my guy? The venomous sting of his words make me feel like there's more going on than I'm aware of. Right. I'm just gonna pause for a bit. I'll say, I'm not ending it yet. But... I'm just conspicuous of as a lot of men because of the trailer. I'm gonna be suspicious of Ben and... fuck, what? Damn, I already forgot her name. Mia, there you go. Fucking Mia. I don't like how he is a bit angry at Olivia. I don't like how Mia is in general. She does look like a baddie though, so... that's something. Also, I need to get more water. Water refilled. Throat's feeling a little better. Though might not in like a few minutes. Let's continue. The venomous sting to his words make me feel like there's more going on than I'm aware of. I decide not to try I decide not to try to pry into it, and instead bring the conversation back. Well, I still want to try. You can upload your submission on the school's website. Oh, and then I'll need an account. You don't have one? Don't think so. I've been told they'll get me that stuff by the end of the week. Sounds about right. Truthfully, it takes maybe 5 minutes at most to deal with that. And why to wait? Nobody wants to deal with it. At least I don't have to deal with that in my college. It's like, I've dealt with that in high school, but college, no. They don't muck about. Maybe if it's UCF, maybe it'll take 10 days. Guess I'll wait then. Ben scratches the side of his head. I think there's someone in Stu Code that can help you out, actually. It's the Treasurer's duty day today. So that's where Liz ended up. I don't know any names, so maybe? Huh. He'll get to meet Liz sooner rather than later. I think I'll take care of that before lunch is over then. See you in class, Ben. Sure thing. Later, Damien. Deuces, man. Tell Liz I said hi. I grab some of the leftover snacks from the table and my backpack and head out of the cafeteria. Finally, I can show off my skills, show that I'm just as capable an artist as anyone else here. Oh, who doesn't love a good old HP laptop? I don't know if they can show that, but you know what? Let's just say I didn't see that. The computer lab is an offshoot room from our library. As for the library itself, aside from the expected emphasis on anatomy drawing guides and the like, it's pretty standard. Not to brag, but the school I was at for my freshman and junior years had a library with 2 floors. Wow. Probably should have read a thing or two with all those resources. I'm getting off topic. The computer lab is the focus. The calm tranquility of the library is overtaken by the organized sterility of the place, of the lab. 40 standardized sets of computers and monitors line the walls, forming a panopticon around the desk reserved for the teacher in the middle. I remember them being organized differently in elementary school, but for a few years now, I've just been seeing this formation. Seems to me like someone got caught one too many times when working on more risque art pieces. Or maybe just going to... Ah, fuck. What? I did get caught in elementary once. I want to say it was... Was it GiantBomb.com? It's like Newgrounds, except with a different name. I'm pretty sure it had bomb in the title. Probably end up with .net. I want to see if that actually is the thing. GiantBomb.com? Our website? The largest video game... Oh, I think it was this one. Holy shit. It looks much more modern, but... Man, I haven't seen that in a long time. Right. That's some nostalgia there. And after that... we could only work on FCAT games. So that sucked. The monitors are all turned on, but only one's logged in. Weird. There's nobody here. Damien and Ben said Liz would be here, though. Maybe she's in the bathroom. I'm not one to pry and snoop around, but I'm really pressed for time here. On screen, I see open PDFs and documents. They look finance-related and filled with abbreviations and jargon I don't understand. Maybe I can figure out how to create my account on my own. Oh, what are you doing here? Ah, haunted high school. I didn't mean to scare you. Oh, thank Christ. It's just a dino girl with an extremely long neck and not a specter. No, really. What were you doing to the fiscal report I was working on? I didn't do anything. Oh, damn. I've been working on that all day. Why did you touch it? I didn't. I only minimized it, I swear. Right, I'm here for a reason. Are you Liz? The Branchosaurus, I guess, usually opens all her windows, and for a while types out some information before acknowledging me again. Excuse me? I don't know if this is a flag, but I'm gonna call this flag or checkpoint point system thing. Damon did tell me about you first. Ben did recommend you as well. I feel like I should watch out for Damien as well. He's just a little too go-happy. But I think I'll stick with Damien for now. I met Damien and he said I'd have to wait for you to sort out my logout stuff. Damien mentioned me. Oh, you're the guy that got smeared to the ground in gym class yesterday. Yeah, I'm Liz. Nice. Whoa. Income. But yeah, I'm new here, so I need an account. Not a problem at all. Liz sits down and cracks her knuckles as she starts typing away at the keyboard. Alright, I'll see if I can get that done for you. In a flourishing display of spreadsheet software experience, Liz navigates and organizes several documents in seconds. I've always had the general idea that there were a lot of shortcuts and commands, but yeesh. She's resourceful. So you're an artist too? Since you want to enter the contest so bad. Oh yeah. I'm a photographer. Yeah? How are you liking it so far? Well, students here usually jump to asking about what they're graduating here for so they can more easily form connections, collaborate. So excuse me if I might be going too fast. No, not at all. I'm a bit more at ease now that you just explained it. It's pretty good, although I feel bad about missing most of the first day. It's not a big deal. Guess not. Although, truth be told, I see those paintings framed by the hall in the principal's office. It does put a bit of rain on my parade. Oh, those. Yeah, I get what you mean. I think it's like that by design, honestly. Something about breaking the students' egos. Then you end up wanting to improve like crazy so you can reach your goals. At least that's what happened to me. Planning on going to university and getting degrees in design and business. You could be that student that just says, yeah, I can do that, or do better. Basically one of those people that can fight a bear. Just have that type of ego. And that's just the start. I'm also starting to become an apprentice for art dealings, getting the right paintings for the right people. My tutors said I'm impressive enough that I should start enrolling for any and all of the important universities around the country I like. Wow. I mean, I'm also pretty well off myself, but it never occurred to me that I should be this ambitious. Thank you. What about you? Oh boy. Influencer, huh? Photography. Should we know our goal? Reach for it however route it takes? Or should we just be ambiguous and just aim high in general? I wanna aim high. I'm gonna aim so high, this is gonna be, I don't know, mundane by comparison. Though this one could be, the first option could be like a cheat code. It might be a cheat code, my guy. Do epic TikTok and win. Actually, TikTok doesn't really pay that well, does it, compared to YouTube? Even with how YouTube is with their payments. Well, it's something. At least more than a lot of people here. What do you mean? Like, half the school may as just well be in a daycare. Ah, I love America. Me in my segregated room. Going on my cry box, that's an Amazon thing. Me and my pronouns, gender studies, whatever. I don't know, apply that to the IRS or some shit. Sorry if that sounds rude. You got these school programs and even industry professionals coming in for lectures. It's like some people are just here because their friends happen to be here too. I guess. No big plans, it seems. Yeah. Wait, you mean like Damien? Yeah, I shouldn't have mentioned it. He's still cool, though, don't get me wrong. I hope me talking about him to you like this doesn't come across as douchey. He's definitely the friendly type. He even partnered with me in gym class and dragged me along to sit with him at lunch. Is that so? Yeah, he was really excited about it too. Then he introduced you to Olivia as well. Tried to break the ice so she can come out of her shell. Yeah, how do you know? Oh boy. I'm sorry about that, Inko. What, is Damien messing with me? No, Damien is great. He's just maybe a little too eager. If he considers you a friend to him, he'll want you to be our friend too. Especially he'll want you to be Olivia's friend. What's wrong with that? Nothing at all. But you've seen Olivia. You probably tell she's a bit unresponsive, doesn't really like to talk to anyone. Not even Damien. You can definitely try to be your friend, but just know that she'll most likely ignore you. You don't like Olivia? What? No, I do. She's fine, I guess. I sat with her during lunch after all. Yeah, I'm sure you'll get along with us just fine. And hey, I'd love to see Olivia make a friend. Just don't get too invested trying to get her to warm up to you. Damien will always be down to hang out though, and I certainly don't mind. Is that? Hold on. Is that mole actually part of her face, or is that just on my screen? I think that's part of my screen, because I can feel it. It's not coming off, though. It's just that him and Olivia are not inseparable. So if the deal turns you off, then it's not your fault either. Okay, yeah, it's definitely not her face. There's history to that warning. Inseparable, so they're like girlfriend and boyfriend? No, they just live in the same house. Oh. Damon's also just incredibly patient and outgoing. I envy him. But yeah, he would like nothing more than everyone getting along like best buddies. Unless you're like Damon and you can be pleasant to a brick wall forever. Your time is probably better spent elsewhere. So how serious are you about your ambitions? Pretty serious, I think. Liz nods. Ah. Something to keep in mind then. It's a struggle, but like Damien says, we gotta keep trying, right? Liz gives me a half-hearted smile, but she still seems sad about something. Anyway, sorry for talking your ear off about private matters. You still want to get that submission turned in? She stops for a second on one tab to scan for something. And got it. She motions her head to the back of the room at the printer as it hums to life. I get up, get the paper. Both my username and password here are strings of numbers. Wow. I take a snapshot of the username and password so I don't have to remember it. Thanks. Anyways, you should hurry. Lunch is ending soon. Oh wow, a flipped image. Right. According to the time displayed on the monitor, only got 10 minutes left. I followed the instructions on printout, finally getting to the student hub of the site. And thankfully the art contest is displayed prominently across it. Clicking through a couple of links, I finally find the submission instructions. It's simply a matter of putting my entry details as the name of the file and dragging it into the school's shared drive. Plugging in my portfolio hard drive, I create a copy of my magnum opus. Then a quick rename, drag it here, and... just in time! Take the extra minute to safely undock my hard drive and then log off the computer. Looking back to Liz, she's completely wrapped up in her work. Don't think interrupting her is a good idea. Especially after what she said about Olivia and her own time. I'll have to simply leave her be, heading out of the room and in the library for class. After all, it's time for the class I've been looking forward to the most. I saw that smile on your face, man. This day is certainly turning out better than yesterday. When it hits rock bottom, the only way is up, lad. Hope I didn't just jinx it for myself. I don't know if I'm gonna make every episode just one day, or if I'm gonna cap it off at a random time. Oh hey, it's AP photography, ain't it? My nerves have been acting up when I first stepped back into the classroom. Made even worse when I was hit with another flashbang. After my 20 other classmates had finished laughing, Miss Ideken made a show of waiting to freshly taken photo of my fancy fold-up camera from the 70s. I dubbed this portrait France, yeah. Hey Ben, after he thumbtacked the shot on a corkboard filled with poor snapshots of everyone else, Mr. Ideken reassured me and sat me down right next to Ben. He managed to sum up his syllabus in under a minute, instead taking the majority of the time to go over our first lesson, an assignment on exposure and lighting. With each new light fixture he brought out and explained, I felt my mind swirled faster with new possibilities of old shots. If only I had that then, or if I could have used that there. Now that you've had a small taste of it, we'll start your first photography assignment. Proper lighting. I'm salivating at the thought. Mr. Adikin had just finished his first lesson where he handed out all sorts of equipment to look over. It's the first time I've handled some of these things, like the enormous box light that was still taking up the entirety of my desk. Remember though, that these are just tools meant to enhance the photo. You can highlight a turd all you want, it's still a turd. The crude language guarantees a chortle from the few half-listening students. The teacher looks over to the clock and hums. Well, I see that we managed to finish this lecture a tad bit early. Why don't you all take these last 10 minutes to compare notes? Even consider doing the assignment as a collab piece with a classmate. The room is quick to fill with the sound of chatter. I wonder if Hey, Ben. Or just hey. I turn to Ben and see his eager grin. Do you want to do a joint piece? Since you don't know any good spots in school, no? I pull out the assignment sheet from beneath the lightweight light on my desk and give it a quick scan again. Present a set of photos demonstrating your understanding of proper lighting. You are allowed to borrow one lighting tool and must take the shot on school premises. And I swear I've handed out this assignment for years now. If one more student just takes a picture of the hallway outside the classroom, I'm going to personally throw them all over the railing. Be original, please. Ah, something that James May would say. I've got the perfect place for it. If we work together, we can even use 2 items. The offer is too tempting. Sure. I hold on my hand, and Ben takes and shakes it, sealing the pact. My face is feeling weird from all the smiling today, but in truth, I've been enjoying Mr. Eidgen's class so much I couldn't stop. Oh, zooming in. It feels like I have the entire world to gain from Mr. Eidgen's lesson. Yeah, you're just blacking out or whatever. Staring into space. An entire world to explore, seeing as ever since the move I hadn't had time to actually explore Alcadera Bluffs. Sure, on occasion I would go out on my own to parts and stuff, but who doesn't? Besides, I'd be a pretty lame photographer if I didn't go out and find stuff to photograph. And you know what? I've been meaning to do a little looking around here. Oh, Ben. So, to everyone else, this assignment makes them have to explore the school, but I get to. Pretty sweet deal if I say so myself. The hall outside the classroom is only one major photo op. Between that and the murals outside, I'm certain to find something cool. No, the murals won't work on their own. Since it was my first time, or my first thought to use them, that means it's likely someone else's first thought. I need to think outside the box a bit. Think of a way to use the school's architecture to my advantage in a way that... Inko! My thoughts are disrupted by a worried-looking Ben. Maybe you should see a doctor, man. Head injuries are no laughing matter. I'm fine. What were you saying? I was asking how you were doing. You know, at school and classes now. Oh, right. Doing good. Really good, actually. I'm in a class that I'm 100% enjoying. I'm trying to make some genuine friendships. Compared to the disaster of yesterday, today has been astoundingly positive. That's good to hear. Yeah, I've got some friends now. Great. Oh, and what about your art submission? Was Liz able to help? There's something nibbling at the corner of my thoughts at the mention of the long-necked girl. Yeah, she gave me my log and stuff and everything. Uploading the submission was a piece of cake after all. Awesome. But it does make you competition now. Both Liz and I have pieces in the running too. She told me she had submitted something, yeah. I'm a bit concerned that I didn't have as much time at all to prepare anything, but... Hey, everyone's got a chance. You never know. Yeah, she was pretty cool about it too. The whole friend group is pretty welcoming. Let me think I'm pretty lucky. Lucky? Ben seems perplexed by my statements. He said something at lunch when Olivia just vanished. I'm noticing for a silent paraplegic, she sure has a lot of people upset. You got some hidden drama with her too? No, not really. Wait, Sue? Who? Etienne calls out to us, striding over to inspect. I take it you gentlemen are conversing about your assignment together? Of course, Mr. Eidgen. We were just discussing where we take our picture, right, Ben? Well, that's good then. Good thing you guys weren't talking about something off topic, like gossip. That would be pretty embarrassing use of your time right off the bat, I think. Considering you're the subject of... you're currently the subject of some fairly humorous gossip, aren't you, Mr. Nito? I'm washing a wave of shame from his words. I look at Ben. I can see he feels it as well. If the air around someone needs clearing, clear it yourself. Anakin has a point. Even once a friendship is established, I can learn more about her. Alright, off you go now. And remember to get your assignment done by the end of the week. The room empties out slowly, with my peers still chatting and discussing their plans for the assignments. Before I can continue talking with Ben about our own project, the Stuco president is already packing up and exiting the room. What a bastard. I guess we'll talk about it later then. Ah, shit. Packing up my own notebook, I wave goodbye to my new favorite teacher and head off to my next class. Okay, history class. Walking to history class for the first time, and it's about what I expected to look like. A bit like sand, and a bit bland. Pictures of historical figures, small relics from various regions, and cartography of the Earth during its stages of continental drift. Though I noticed that there is a distinct lack of a teacher in the class. Mostly finishing up their lunch, I assume. Well, better get a good seat now before they're all taken. Eeny, meeny, miny. This one. Yes, there you go, Jeremy Clarkson. I saw myself into my chosen desk and pull out my history book and notebook, along with a pencil. As the classroom fills with more and more students, it becomes a blur of vibrant scales. A few minutes pass, and I'm still wondering where the teacher is. Oh, damn. The suddenness of the door slamming open stops any and all noise. It's quiet enough to hear a pin drop. The figure walks in the classroom, and it's Sully? Oh, sweet heaven, no. He stands here and stares down at everyone, menacingly. Wee woo, boys. He's the history teacher, too? Thanks for walking me to my classroom, Sully. Of course, Miss Brockling. Oh, thank Raptor Jesus, he isn't our teacher. The Raptor woman adjusts her glasses as she scans around the room before looking down at the paperwork at her hands. I just realized I should have probably saved when I made those choices, but whatever. Okay, I got myself some tea. You might have heard it, might have not, but I did get a shout out to my mom that I have ginger tea ready. The Raptor woman adjusts her glasses as she scans around the room before looking down at the paperwork in her hands. Looks like we'll have some late arrivals, but let's get down to business. Oh yes, the business. And know that I introduced myself here yesterday, but for any of those who weren't here, her momentary glance at me makes me believe Sully told her about my absence. My name is Mrs. Prockling, and this is history class. I can see a pigeon just on the walkway here. He's just chilling. What a lad. In this course, we'll be learning about the history of our primeval ancestors and their advancements through history. You can even say that it'll be like going back in time. Doesn't that sound exciting? Despite her admittedly forced enthusiasm, everyone in class responds with uninterested murmuring. Not sure why, though. This all sounds exciting. She walks over to her desk and places down her pile of folders before flipping open her own special version of the history book. With a click of her button, she also turns on the projector to reveal a prepared slideshow for today's lecture. To learn about the extensive history of Saurians and their culture is something I've yearned for. If you can turn your books to page 36, we'll begin with the first chapter, detailing the earliest interaction between saurians and hominids. Ooh, that sounds interesting. Yeah, I think I jinxed myself. You definitely did. She did not seem like the interesting type. Or at least she didn't. This doesn't look like she'll make anything interesting. Mrs. Prockling's history class is the polar opposite of Ida Ken's photography class. Well, introduction to the class engaged me at first. Things have slowed down to an unbearably slow crawl. My eyes scan over the introductory text of the first chapter. Despite the tension between two groups, human settlers to the New World will continue to make overtures of trade to the native lobster raptor tribes. So dinos are the Native Americans, eh? The Indians. I'm pretty sure I've read this line three times in a row. Or 3 times now. I turn my eyes away from the page in hopes blinking the boredom away. I look up to the teacher staring down at various papers on her desk with laser focus. I must stare too long though, because I end up locked up in a staring contest with Miss Prockling. She raises an eyebrow at me. Okay then. Right. Write down notes of page 3 through 7 about the discovery of the New World. Without even fully comprehending the words before me, I'm copying the page down to the letter of my notebook. Absent-mindedly, I begin to recall everything that's happened so far with my new classmates. Ben carries himself with a lot of refinement, and is easily my first pick as a photography partner. But that Mia girl... she doesn't seem to want to make friends. Of course, I could have mentioned that from the cold look she gave me yesterday, not to mention the rude hand gesture. Damon's very friendly, even if he can be a bit too enthusiastic sometimes. And through my encounter with Leafer's brief, I can tell she's dependable. My progress in making friends has been pretty good, all things considered. But then there's Olivia. So far she's an enigma. And coupled with the apparent history she has with the others, it makes me all the more curious about her. Looks like it would be a bad idea to get invested. Well, in the end, it's effectively gossip and hearsay. This had come as something of a shock to me, but... And what do we have here, Mrs. Halford? The sudden voice of Mrs. Prockling snaps me out of my thoughts. I lean my head to see what the teacher is looking down at. Wait a minute, Olivia's here too? How do you not notice that, my guy? You just... whatever. Are you just a bit restarted? Or you just unbothered with that class, you just don't know when anyone comes in? Because that would be a fair explanation. As luck would have it, I share not one, but 2 classes with Olivia. I must have been so jaded from trying to read this textbook that I didn't even notice the girl in the wheelchair. She sits in the front row, diagonally in front of me. And I don't think she's noticed this strange twist of fate herself. Only the 2nd day of the year, and already dueling in class again? She proceeds to pick up the piece of paper from Olivia's desk. Looks like she's been drawing on it, but I can't tell what they are from where I'm sitting. Listen, Olivia, I know history isn't the most exciting subject to learn, but could you at least pretend that you're taking notes? The only response I hear from Olivia is a heavy sigh before laying her head back down. Damn. While the teacher returns to skulking around the room. Olivia hunches over her notebook. Although I don't think those are notes she's taking. Nah, no one would do something like that with the totalitarian teacher patrolling the room. It's an attempt to get us all to focus, but I'm finding a losing battle to keep my eyelids from shutting. My jaw is clenched tight to suppress the loud yawn belling inside, even as Mrs. Brockling skulks right past me. Yeah. Just before my drowsiness can overtake me, though, I notice minute movement in the corner of my eye. One of my classmates glances up at the teacher, whose eyes are roving over the opposite side of the room, and down to scribble something down. The paper is folded into a neat little note and watches the next person carefully unfolds the sheet and also scribbles on it before folding and passing it along again. Curiously, thoroughly piqued, I wait anxiously in my seat for the paper to get to me next. It's a dangerous game, passing the note along so Prockling doesn't see. If I'm participating, does that make me a slacker? The student to my side makes a move to toss over the note. Prockling starts turning around right then. He flinches and drops the hot potato on my desk in a flash. I nearly slam my own paper over the page covered from sight. Mrs. Prockling continues to lecture about how the raptors and humans eventually started to get along because they traded narcotic leaves or something like that. As you can see on the board here, now. Oh yeah. I lift my paper. Luckily there's plenty of space left. As for what everyone else has drawn, a not so solid attempt at a race car, sketches of some eyes, a bunch of doodles, named stylized fonts that I could only describe as graffiti, and, of course, it's not high school if someone hasn't drawn a penis. We love doing that, don't we? The good old peenie. Mrs. Prockling with stink lines coming off of her. Eesh, man, I got caught with this. Reminds me of that drawing that Patrick made. Oh, is it meanie? Mrs. Puff is a meanie or some shit? Eesh, man, I got caught with this. Or you can keep it. That being said, I'm drawing a blank. What should I draw? I don't exactly doodle every day. Drawing stuff for others is a nice gesture. Maybe I'll try to break the ice a bit. Although I don't really know anything about her. Yeah, it can't hurt to try though, yeah? I can think of a few things to sketch out here. Let's see. Oh yes! Alright. Oh, H? Oh, hell yeah, that's smooth. Right. Let's just put the date here. Yeah, wait, why does it say 14th? It's the 15th today. My computer is a bit dumb. Right. Dating it, and my piece shall commence. There you go. That's my drawing. I accidentally deleted it near the end, so I had to do this all over again. There's, I don't know, cursive. There you go. KK, Kasin Koral. Godspeed. Save that real quick. Yes, sir. Right. Done. And done. I didn't have a lot of room to work with, but as I surreptitiously admire my work, I find that I have a long way to go. Feels like I'm being mocked by other doodles. Ah, it's over, man. It's so over. Alright, Olivia's sure to like this. Also, if you didn't know, I draw my best interpretation of Darth Nihilus. Or, I tried to draw Darth Nihilus. And that Malphite is supposed to be Malachor 5. Right. Olivia's sure to like this. Mrs. Prockling still turned around. Alright. Slip the paper over Olivia's shoulder. I won't have to get up and risk getting caught. And here we go. Fabrizio Rozzo, however you pronounce his name. It's a bit tricky, and I hesitate, but the paper meets its destination. He doesn't even look back, just takes the paper eagerly. It's completely different from how she was acting earlier. Her tail is even swaying from side to side. Or is that wagging? Huh. Alright. Now she's gonna see my sketch and possibly think I'm cool. I saw that smile. It went away. She's not turning around. Well, it's not much, so it could also just... I'll be taking that. Mrs. Prockling snatches the paper from Olivia's claws. She holds her arms out. She takes a glance at the paper. A small crack of a smile appears on her face before going back to its stoic visage. So, is this how you view me, Mrs. Halford? Prockling holds the paper for all to see. Everyone in their class does their best to avoid her persecuting gaze. I know that most of you were part of this as well. I guess it wasn't smart to put my signature after all. Look, I'm not asking for much. Please do your assignments when you're in class. It's the least you can do. You were just passing a note one at a time. She wasn't even paying attention. Yeah, how come all of us were in trouble? I noticed Prockling looked down at Olivia for a moment before laying a sigh of defeat. Look, since it's only the second day, I'll let this one slide. But I'm warning you, so... I'm warning you now that I won't be so lenient when the next time it happens. Otherwise, you'll end up like the last student who decided to be disruptive during class. Ugh, what happened to him? Get a detention slip or something? Mrs. Prockling pulls up the window blinds and pushes the window screen open. She then takes out a walkie-talkie. Stolly? Yup, another hippie. Seat H4. God damn. I need to close my door real quick. Another hippie, eh? Damn! Good job, soldier. Holy shit. Now, if we can, let's continue. God damn. Alright. We're on the second floor. I sink back into my seat and continue writing, mainly out of unadulterated fear of experiencing the same wrath from the teacher. Man, now I feel guilty for Olivia. I was the one to pass her the note after all. Maybe I shouldn't have tried. Well, I can always apologize after class. Mrs. Prockling places the note and continues with her lecture for another half hour. With 10 minutes left of class, I see Miss Prockling looking at the clock above the door. I then notice Olivia grabbing her attention, as if she knew what she's going to say to her. The teacher nods her head. Olivia grabs her backpack and shoves all her things into it. Silently, she wheels herself to the door, opens it, and rolls on out. The teacher must have noticed me watching her leave. Accommodations. Ah, well, there goes my chance of saying sorry to her. Feeling defeated, I decide to focus on writing down my notes for the rest of the time left. Although, I do wonder. Kanye West moment. She must have noticed my doodle. Did she just ignore it then? Class comes and goes, and I head back home on the metro. Another day, another dollar. Oh, it's right the next morning. Nice. Now this time I pass on the mini breakfast burritos. After how bad they messed me up during PE yesterday, I don't want my stomach to endure that torture again. Instead, I just got a few hash browns from a food joint by the metro. I idly scroll through my feed, as I usually do, while the metro jostles about to my destination. It's been a few days now. A strange scent of extremely cheap detergent and alcohol have become an afterthought. Some of the vines are actually plastic. The flowers are little air fresheners. That's interesting. That's not actually something I noticed. More so witnessed when a pastor tried eating one. Some of the vines are real though. For some reason they go untouched anyways. Maybe they're just not tasty. Vegetarians don't eat the grass in their lawns after all. Right? Huh. Oh my. Anyways, lights have gone out and someone just dropped a wrecking ball next to me. Must be Mr. Ferris. Good morning, Inko. Good morning. How has work been going? Has work been going fine, I guess? It has. Slowly, but I'm very thorough. I hate the idea of a place of learning not being an ideal place to learn. I appreciate our talks. Your perspective has really helped me understand the student body more. You're welcome. Hey, have you given any more thought to the fashion thing? I have. Although I can't say I really get it. There's plenty to see elsewhere if you just look around. Really? Like what? Well... like, look at that girl on the other end of the car. There. It's rather revealing. I don't think that's really for me. I love my wife. Ah, funny man. I just mean as an example. Well, there's an event coming up. Could see about trying something new. What would you recommend? That's a good question. What would be good to use here? In my inner eye, I'll conceptualize the coolest possible Ferris. The fresh machine is going full throttle. First, sunglasses. His eyes may be a little too far apart for that. However, beanie. Okay, no, not the beanie. Moving on. Big guns, fresh jacket. Oh my god, not the fucking... not the ponytail, man. There you go, the coolest possible Ferris. Mr. Nito? Sorry, just thinking. Why don't you start with... sunglasses, eh? We can go sunglasses, or we can go for the jacket. Possibly the jacket, because he doesn't really... we haven't seen him use glasses, so... we'll go with that. Really now? Those all rather sound... expensive. Yeah, they are. You know what? Try golden chain necklace? Oh my god. Oh, what? Yeah, just make sure it's appropriately sized so it doesn't look silly. I'm sure it would go a long way. It's pretty cheap to get. Well, alright, I'll take your word for it. We'd sure talk about fashion a lot, though. that really all everything's about these days? Oh, of course not. What do you want to know about? What's YOLO? Oh my god. What's YOLO mean? Heard that term thrown around recently. Recently? Isn't this game's... Isn't this supposed to be like 2018 when this... Or Dino 2018 when this takes place? That's like almost a full... Almost a half decade before... Or half... It's almost a half a decade before, after... That died out. Yeah, that was like 5 years ago, my nigga. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Mr. Ferris and I talk more about contemporary urban slang until we arrive at our stop. Ah, art. God bless it. Mr. Lot of Men had just started talking about a first project for the class. As when he said the word, Olivia's hand had shot up. Her gray eyes sparkled in excitement, a smile threatened to crush the perpetual frown etched on her snout. The girl vibrates in her seat as she waves her hand in the air, trying to... Ah, sorry about that. Her hand waves in the air, trying to get the teacher's attention. Itikin's own smile was strained as he and Olivia engaged in staring contest with one another. I can only marvel as the two argue with each other without a single word. Eventually, Itikin won by turning off the lights and turning on the cheap projector hanging from the ceiling. I'm playing a safety video about paint that felt far too graphic for a school setting. I don't think I'll be able to eat barbecue for a while. You just witnessed Gator meat fall off. Thoroughly defeated, Olivia crosses her arms and pouts in her seats. What a cutie pie. And that is why we won't be using any of more exotic materials for any projects, Mrs. Halford. Maybe I should have just skipped breakfast entirely. I don't know if there's any art PSAs that are unironically like that, but I won't be surprised. I still don't see the problem. Once you've all had the proper safety handling course in the second semester, you will be allowed to use oil-based paints. Until that time, however, all the assignments will require safer supplies. Now, bloody hell. Since we pivoted to this, might as well finish the full video. Okay. What the hell? Walt's Canteen. Don't know what sticker that is. The grumpy Gator holds a hand to her throat, mumbling to herself as she grabs the middle flask and drinks from it. The entire display from her was mystifying, at odds with how Ben and Liz describe Olivia. In fact, it kind of reminded me of... me. I can understand, after all. Anakin is letting Ben and I use some of his equipment in photography. That thrill of experimentation, of new possibilities. No doubt that it brings a creative spark to her eyes. Eyes that fill with pure malice as they glare daggers my way. Oh, was I staring? Oops. Before I could offer an apology, she already had her hands on the wheels. She rolls up to Anakin's desk and leans forward intently. I can't make out anything that's said through the video, but going by the occasional glare back, it's not hard to imagine. Crap, I really didn't mean to offend. Anakin notices I'm watching and motions for me to come forward. Slowly I shift out of my seat and approach the desk. Alright, is something going on here? Anakin speaks in a hushed tone, just loud enough for me to hear over the makeshift Mancy? Matany? Nah. Olivia is telling me you're making goofy faces at her. No, I said he's been staring at me all through class. Oh? It's weird. He's like he's never seen someone like me. Can you move into a different seat? Now hold on a sec there, Olivia. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I'm sure it is just a misunderstanding. Mr. Anakin, you stupid man. Like she's a different person here. You and your silly canteen. She fishes out a canteen of water and brings it to her mouth. Again. You're given a lot of leeway when it comes to seat assignment, but asking for something like this? I just want him to leave me alone. She sips again. What's that about? Well then, Inko, you tell us. What's on your mind? Can't have disagreements between classmates this early in the year. I'm confused. I know there any disagreement between us. Well, sometimes it's the little things you do that you don't even think about that affects most people. Anything like that come to mind? I shake my head. Olivia's glare doesn't diminish away from my view. My FOV. Ah. I mean, I've been a bit curious about her since we sat next to each other. I'm friends with some of her friends. We all sat together and ate lunch yesterday. Anakin nods to himself thoughtfully. Sounds like he just wants to hang out, Olivia. Her face scrunches at the mere thought. Yeah, I'm not really interested. He's distracting me from classwork. I don't watch the video without being gawked at. Sorry, I didn't mean it. Does that resolve the issue for you, Olivia? No, I don't want somebody in this class. She goes to take another sip, but ends up turning the canteen upside down. All out. What a rotten bit of luck. Yeah. Olivia, you can go fill that up if you want. You won't be missing anything. The video's nothing you don't already know, I'm sure. Excuse me. Olivia eyes me suspiciously, slowly moves out the door towards the nearest water fountain. Anakin sighs. Alright. He leans back in his chair with his arms resting behind his head. Inko, I told you yesterday, if the air needs cleaning, you need to do it yourself. Now she's in a mood because you were staring at her like a weirdo. And here I thought you two would get along. She even gave you the sketch that she made of you. Truthfully, I'm impressed, but here we are. What's going on, big guy? Again, sorry. It's been a pretty busy few days. Yeah, I've gone into a cool friend group and we're all gonna sit together at lunch. Libby's there too. She didn't say much, but I did get her soda. I don't know why she's so upset at me. It's nothing personal, Inko. It's not? She's reticent, especially when it comes to change. If you're at her lunch period too, I can see she'd be wary of you. You don't mind me asking, Mr. Heidekin? Yes? Why is she so open with you? How do you mean? Just now, she spoke more in that conversation than all the other times I've seen her yesterday. I saw at the canteen. I figure it's something to do with her voice, but it's surprising. Her water bottle's the other way around. It's unfortunate, but she just really rarely talks at all. I guess she just really trusts me. I've known her since she was a freshman. She seems to gravitate towards art and how I taught it, and soon enough I took her under my wing. Oh no. She leaves with Damien, right? She's at the lunch table and she still barely talks to him. Poor kid. Hope he's doing alright. He seems to be alright. But yeah, she's distant to everyone else. So much so I keep hearing weird things about her. Atkin leans forward in his chair, suddenly attentive. Is this about you gossiping with Ben yesterday? A bit. He showed up to the table and said something about her being the same after she left. Probably some drama there, but I didn't want to pry. He nods. But also, Liz told me about some weird things too. He stops nodding. I know of her. Something wrong. No, she just said I shouldn't get invested in being her friend. Everyone's being real weird about it, so I was curious for myself. I guess that's why I was looking at her weird. Sorry. Ideken rubs his temples. Ay, it's worse than I thought. What is it? What is? I'll put it this way. You met 3 people that know Olivia other than me. Of the 3, only one thinks highly of her, and other 2 start unloading drama on anyone willing to listen. In this case, you. No wonder you're confused. I hadn't thought of it like that. I don't blame you. You shouldn't be involved in anything stupid. High schoolers, you know? I guess. A lot of men inhales, collecting thoughts. Important question then. Do you really want to be Olivia's friend? Huh? I mean, I guess. A judging eyebrow is raised my way. Are you really? Or just curious about her? He seems pretty serious about this. Yes then. Olivia returns to class and rolls right back up to the desk. Back. Have you changed his desk yet? Atkin nudges his head towards me expectantly, prodding me on. I'm sorry I distracted you during class, Olivia. She looks to Atkin and gets a similar nod. Sure? I mean, you're welcome? I mean, thanks. Shit! But, no, really, I don't want to be distracted. Come on now, Olivia. The least you can do is give him another chance. You never know. I don't really want to know. Damn it. I get he's, like, friends with Damien, but I don't really want to, you know, not in this class. I'd like to be your friend. She stops and raises an eyebrow. Lots of those going around recently. Like she was expecting this response. She looks to Edgar for help. Actually, Olivia, I think he made a good friend for you. Damn. Betrayal. What? Her words were like a battering ram. I'm simply saying to give Inko here another chance. Yeah, it's the 15th. Damn it. I was doubting my computer for a second. I could almost see the imaginary bulwark she had behind slowly crumbling from what Inko was saying. You are both quite similar at heart, though you may have different methods. Perhaps you will find some compromise behind cynicism and naivety if you work together. Finally, the last fragments of her imaginary fortress collapse. Olivia can only look at the art teacher, with timid confusion painted across her features. Well. I don't... Are you for real, Mr. Atkin? I am. He's actually in another class of mine. I'm seeing him. He's passionate about his camera like you are with a brush. And I do expect great things from him. Uh-huh. Okay. Sorry, I really thought... Oh. Oops, she actually bit her tongue. Her mouth is clamped shut. It's just my opinion. You can make your own choices, Olivia. She nods furiously. Oop. The movie's about to end. You two should get back to your seats. You good here? Olivia side-eyes me again, and nods once more. Alright. Motions us to skedaddle. Olivia backs away to her spot. Thanks, Mr. Artigan. For what? I just gave an opinion. I'm serious. It's up to the two of you if you want to be friends. Don't screw it up. He waves me off again. He gets up to flip the lights. I get back to my seat and stare absent-mindedly at the projected screen as I digest Latigan's words. He said he only gave his opinion, but it seems like he also gave me an opportunity to take the right steps in connecting with Olivia. And with what he said about her being passionate with a brush, it's gotten me even more curious about her artistic prowess. Speaking of whom, I noticed that she occasionally gives me a side-eye. I don't think she can see my eyes due to the dim lighting combined with my shades. She stares at me with a sense of strange curiosity, almost as if she's trying to get a read of me from my face alone. From what I can tell by her facial cues, she seems confused and almost shaken up. It's like she wants to say something, but keeps on backing away at the last second. Guess her mind is also jostling around from Artigan's words. Our teacher flicks a light switch, and I feel my retina burn from the bright lamp lights, even with my sunglasses. Alright, normally in your first week, we'd be doing something simple like a color or swatch wheel. However, I think you all could manage something a bit more advanced. That's Warriors again. The Gator girl's head whipped around at the words advanced. Whatever Olivia was thinking before regarding me seems to be forgotten, as she focuses almost entirely on the teacher. Miss Artigan holds up a stack of paper for us to see. First things first, I'd like you to fill out these topic sheets so that I know you understand how to safely handle oil-based paints. Last thing we need is another burnt-down classroom. The way Artigan says those words make me imagine some pretty horrible outcomes. It's reminding me of that Syrian soldier. Possibly Syrian. I don't know if it was actually Syrian. Once you finish your sheets, bring them to me so I can review them. I'll be giving you the permission sheet after I know you lot won't set yourselves on fire or poison yourselves. The Alistair guy in front of me hands back the stack, and I take a page from it before setting the rest to the Diplo girl behind me. Diplo? Like the artist, or what do you mean Diplo? Whatever. My eyes scan over the sheet. What grade of mass do snouts longer than 3 inches require? N95. Fuck it. I realized I didn't see the first half of the video. I scan over the page and I groan when I see questions I know answers for. All of them pertain to dinosaur anatomy. Our teacher looks directly at me, then to the side. I try to decipher his meaning, follow his eyes. I turn to my seat and lean closer to Olivia. Hey, what? What now? What? But damn! Fucking 20 questions? I'm not gonna let you draw me? What the hell? Looking at her paper, I see that she's already answered the questions I couldn't. I show her my page, tapping the upper section that was still blank. Damn, Olivia, come on! Just help a nigga out. Olivia groans and looks at Artigan pleadingly. All she gets for her troubles is a thumbs up. That'll do it. Fine. Here. She holds out her sheet for me. Wait, isn't this cheating? The art teacher wouldn't How did he get to his desk? Why did he have a sleeping mask? To look over the answers, I still learned the safety procedures. So what's the difference in the end? That must be what he's thinking. Either that or he just doesn't care. I'll copy the words from Olivia's sheet, do my best to at least rephrase them. So my classmates are already walking up to Itikin's desk. He's barely reading the pages, not even taking the sleeping mask off. Thanks, Olivia. Whatever. Olivia finishes her page in a few seconds and wheels herself to the desk too. The last answer I'm confident on. Like what flashpoint means. Okay. I get up, go to Itikin's desk, set my own safety assignment down. Good, good. Here's your permission slip to use hazardous paints. He didn't even bother to look over my worksheet. He lifts the eye mask from his face and looks at me with one eye. What? Most of that stuff doesn't apply to you, Inko. Just don't drink the paint or get in your eyes and you'll be okay. Yes, Mr. Itikin. Attaboy, now go to your desk and wait for class to end. Tomorrow I'll be starring you on something simple. Like painting a cube or a ball. Yeah, model dodgeball painting. Wow. Thank you for rubbing it in for the second day in a row. The eye mask drops down and I return to my seat. The class clock reads 5 minutes till lunchtime. Olivia's back to leering at me and consider what I should say or do. Some sort of icebreaker. Mr. Eigen said we're similar. I can see what he means. But I'm a photographer, and she's a painter. Not Austrian, but a Gator. So cubist and a... What? The fuck is a Dadaist? This is stupid. Godspeed. Have a good lunch now. The moment the bell rings, Olivia shoves most of her things in her backpack, not caring if her notebook gets crushed. Once she zips up, she races out of the classroom. Guess she doesn't want to get caught in the chaos of the lunchroom stampede. You know what? That's fair.
Eye on the track. Young fly on the track.